KSI's next fight should be either Slim or Sol Papi. I feel like...
Why don't we talk about that one?
Do you know who I would like it to be? Slim. Because Slim will talk that shit.
Yeah, let's talk about the Slim fight.
Yeah. Whereas Sol Papi, I don't know if he can break... Like, if Sol Papi, the thing about him, his selling point is his hands. Deadly. Like, I think he...
I mean, he does this for a reason.
I think he might be...
Solid, man.
I think he was the most, like, wow.
Oh, yeah.
Last night, it was like fuck, like, you are a problem.
Yeah.
And if he did that to Kenny, that's the point where I'm like, I don't care if he can talk shit or not at JJ.
Throw him in.
You got to be in there with him.
Throw him in.
Whereas in the meantime, I think Slim
can sell.
Slim can sell the fight. And that's what we didn't have anyone who was going to poke his finger in JJ's chest and give him something back and be like, you ain't catching up to me. You're not on my level. All that. Yeah. Slim is so good at that. That's the fight to me.
Bro, also, it's the mental dynamic of that as well. I think JJ's had Joe Weller, straight man. Logan Paul,
not gay,
definitely a straight man. Yeah.
And then he's had
hetero,
and then he's had two guys who are probably the straight guy in the relationship there between the two of them.
Yeah,
and they're always the guy. So he calls himself the nightmare.
JJ was always the wild motherfucker,
the wild guy, the guy who was
together,
unpredictable. You didn't necessarily know where he was going to come from. He was the one who was talking shit more than the other guy, or the better shit, or the stuff that you knew was getting into people's heads. Put him up against Slim and then see who's almost like the stranger one out of these two that's willing. It's like putting him up against the Joker.
Yeah.
It's like, who's more willing to go to that weird place and be like...
Slim will bring it out of him again.
And that's the point.
And also, Slim is a real test. Like, that knockout on Temper.
Yeah.
Wow.
Question, when did child protection laws come into this sort of thing for what those fights happened? Like, because there were just two... Swarms, how old Swarms? Like,
he's a grown man.
He's a grown man.
Swarms is grown.
Yeah. But the other guy...
He didn't fight like a grown man, but he tried. I'll give him that.
He tried his best.
It was those punches that really...
What about the spins, though? You got to rate the spins.
Yeah.
He was some NBA-level spinning going on.
Bro, that guy was going to the rim. Would you think... I rated that he lost so much weight, but I also thought you can't learn boxing and lose that weight at the same time.
Swarms is actually running away.
When he's doing spins and running corner to corner.
When the final punch lands, I mean, he's moving away. He didn't even catch Swarms flush there.
No.
And the referee was just like, nah, fuck this.
Yeah. I don't know if KSI caught, to the body, he had some really nice shots. I don't know if he caught Pineda or Swarms with that flush right hand.
No, he didn't.
The entirety
and
of the night.
The fact that he didn't, I think, says work to be done.
Yeah.
Like, ultimately... We were going to compare this to Jake Paul because he's made this all about Jake Paul.
Yeah.
And I think this is, if I was to say what kind of fight is this like, maybe it's a bit disrespectful to Ben Askren, but in terms of Ben Askren's hands, they're not good. But the difference was Ben came forward, which enabled Jake to annihilate him.
Yeah.
What JJ showed and what Slim showed, it's so difficult to imagine who's the better guy right now because of who they were fighting against. But I wouldn't be surprised if Slim was like a...
It's a challenge.
But, well, in terms of betting odds, he was maybe not favourite, but highly betted on in that fight because he is just... The build-up alone, I want to see this fight. I really want to see it.
Yeah. No, listen.
That's the fight.
KSI, who did KSI call out?
He said Slim, then he went to Tommy Fury, and a couple of...
That's probably...
Like he's got a...
Yeah. Oh, your boy. You know, your boy.
Oh, the human trafficker. Yeah.
Your boy.
I mean, I don't know why. He basically went down a list of names.
I like that, though. He had a bit of a shopping list.
Yeah.
You know who else he said was kind of shocking? Your boy Gibb. Or the winner of
Well, he said the winner. And that was like, you know what, though?
Interesting.
You know what? I know they've sparred. There's love there.
A couple of times, yeah.
But this...
Well, I want to leave that to you because I don't know as well. Like, is that something that's even realistic?
Here's the thing with Gibb.
Yeah.
To me, I don't think he should let friendship stand in the way of what he's capable of.
Right.
And if that is...
It's a tough line.
If JJ said, look, I want the winner next, to me, if you're Gibb, how much money you're going to make out of that? And it's also that storyline is the only storyline that maybe surpasses Slim.
Right.
Where it's like friends become... Yeah,
and that's part of it is all the... Like, I think there's a bit of a... there's a slight stagnation in the storylines at the moment between people. You almost need to switch it up a little bit at the top level. I know there have been friends that have fought before, like it was on the early cards that we did. There were like people who knew each other relatively well, but it's much better if you've got these two guys who are more like brothers almost.
And this,
like
you said, the storyline, the back history of it. And if it's
Austin McBroom, easy money. Because like I said, they asked me at the end of the show, who would you like to see, Matt?
Yeah.
I said Austin McBroom at the time because he's such a bastard, like, the scamming people, all of that. He is such a perfect bad guy.
Right.
And I think JJ would hate him.
Yeah.
He would actively really dislike him. And that's where it would boil.
But that's where, and I get that. I've seen that. Or I've seen elements of that. And that's what makes me more curious to see Slim or Gib or someone else.
The other side of it.
Just to switch it up. Also because, again, with this influencer thing, they tend to want to keep the influencers, especially at the very top level, in their comfort zone.
Yeah.
Let's just get the bag. Let's just make sure this goes. Let's put people, if we're talking about being athletics here, we're talking about something where...
Let's put some competition.
Yeah, like let's do some experimentation with this. Don't make this just about... And I get last night was very much an influencer event, the kind of people who were in the room.
But they were handing belts out, Laws, and that means that there's a division.
There has to be.
That there's rankings, and that means that there's moments where, people are going to have to just fight each other.
Yeah.
If you want it to be legit and you want to turn this into something that's respectable, maybe
competitive hierarchy. That's what you need. If you're going to have belts, competitive hierarchy, right?
Right, Brian, what's a dream scenario?
Laurence, I'm glad you asked.
Yeah.
Right? We've got Slim.
Yep.
He beat Slim.
So we're putting it out there. It's Slim.
I think Slim, just because of what he brings to the table as a full package.
Slim, Salt Papi, whatever. Yeah.
I think Salt Papi, his hands are lethal, but I think Slim brings the sell, everything. He makes it entertaining.
Yeah.
Then a Tommy Fury, maybe.
Yeah, I can see that.
Wow.
If he beats Tommy, the intrigue of a Jake Paul is enormous. Then, so there's the roadmap for 3 fights and then Wembley.
Yeah.